And here's the man with a lot of work to do, Thomas Mazira, starting dead last in the field today after flat spotting tyres yesterday. And he has quite an assignment in front of him, something like 32 other cars to pass. Beautiful day here at Eastern Creek in Sydney. Mike Raymond along with Mark Osler and Alan Moffat. Hope you enjoy round 6 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championships.
Jesus,
John Bow creeping over the line, and he gets off the line, but Scaife gets off sideways with him, and Seaton down the inside, and Peter Brock tries to open them up as well. Seaton will lead this. Yes, he does, into the first turn. Out of the second row. Fantastic stuff as they all haul through turn number 1, the short straight up to the second left-hander. John Bow has gone back a spot, and Alan Jones has made a remarkable start down the inside. Wouldn't even mind betting Jones will come out of there running about 4.
Well, it doesn't matter what John Bow does now, Mike, if he doesn't get a minute penalty for jumping the start. It's a savage ruling, but that's no worse than a Formula 1 champion gets creeping on the line. I can't see that he won't get penalised for that.
Well, that was a sensational start from Seaton, but Mark Scaife just got swarmed off the line. I'm not sure there's a mechanical problem there, or he done at the start, but we can't see him in the backpack. There he is, Mark Scaife out of the race. Great shame for the Winfield team, looking very strong in qualifying, and he hasn't got more than 100 metres.
It's pretty strong up the front half of the field. Glenn Seaton got away smartly. John Bow runs in second. Then I think it's Wayne Gardner up through the pack into about third. Thomas Mazira still trying to clear the field, but he's made up a lot of ground. There's the gap. Gardner going through. Alan Jones is next, followed by Perkins, Longhurst, Brock, then Jim Richards and Neil Crompton. But Glenn Seaton got away absolutely beautifully off the line down the inside to lead them going into the first turn.
That'll be a huge weight off Glenn Seaton's mind. He was pushed to number 6 in the Peter Jackson Dash for Cash earlier this morning. Fought his way up to third position, blasted off the line. Now he's back to his rightful position, and he'd be wrapped leading them across the line for the first time. Bow in second position.
Crowd absolutely standing as one, cheering on Glenn Seaton as he hauls down into the first turn, opening that gap. There's Alan Jones in the second of the Peter Jackson Falcon EVs. Going through, Wayne Gardner is just ahead of him. So we pick up on the leader coming up to turn number 2.
Expect some big moves from Alan Jones in the opening laps of this heat. Had a disappointing practice. Only qualified 8th. Mysteriously dropped off half a second somewhere in qualifying yesterday. But as you see from AJ in so many heats of the Touring Car Championship this year, he will charge. The V8's really flying at Eastern Creek. The top 8 cars covered by less than 1 second. The top 12 cars under the existing lap record, which is phenomenal speed.
There's Tony Longhurst, BMW of course, also getting a handout with the Performance Review Committee of CAMS. Using that new rear spoiler, Alan.
See the big lip on the back of the BMW there, Mike. That additional almost 4 or 5 inches make a tremendous advantage on the corners, and a big advantage at a circuit like Bathurst.
Here's Wayne Gardner down to the outside, trying to feint just now. He'll tuck it back on the inside coming out of the turn. So Gardner, in car number 16, the Telecom Mobile and Commodore, is up to challenge John Bow already, and Alan Jones is looming just behind Gardner.
Boys, Wayne Gardner on fire this weekend. He was fastest in qualifying or the early practice session on Saturday morning till he had a spectacular diff blow-up. But he's really enjoying the circuit and thoroughly enjoying this new aerodynamic package the Commodores are running. Feeling very strong in the car.
I feel sorry for 2 people this weekend. One is going to be Thomas Mazira, the other has to be Dick Johnson. They come down the front straight away. And there is the gap between John Bow and Wayne Gardner on the move. Mark Scaife out of this race. Let's go down to Andy.
Yeah, terrible luck for Mark Scaife, breaking a tail shaft as he went into second gear on the start. Mark, how do you explain something like that?
Well, that's just one of those things, you know, like a lot of the other holding competitors, a lot of other competitors in the cars have the same sort of problem. We just got a good jump and went to second gear and it broke, so that's the game we're in.
Dick's already a spectator in the first one. Now you're here. Can we rectify it for Heat 2?
No problem. Yeah, we'll be there for sure.
Thank you, Andy, and Mark Scaife. Wayne Gardner down the inside of John Bow.
You better be careful. He's not going to get away with a move like that on John Bow without just a little bit more room in front of him.
I noticed one of the Caltex Corollas sitting back parked on the side of the racetrack. Not a great weekend for the 2 leader boys, and of course the 5 leaders get well and truly away from them on a horsepower circuit like Eastern Creek.
Yep, there he is.
Well, that's the number 6 car. Sad to see John Smith out of the race so early. Gardner again coming down the outside.
The This really is crunch time for the Holt boys this weekend. Glenn Seaton's already opened up a healthy gap on John Bower. Wayne Gardner there splitting the forward pack, but there's Falcons 1, 2 and 4 in these opening laps.
I think it's a pity that we're missing Scaife and obviously missing Mazzara. John Bower might not be feeling so healthy if you had two more Commodores around him, but it's fair to say that Wayne Gardner is savaging the Shell Falcon at the moment, but not just quite capable of sliding by. He's got a tough man to pass.
And look, he's into the draft, tucks under the rear spoiler of the Falcon.
If he wants to pass him, it'll have to be down pit lane. They go by the grandstand. And Wayne Gardner still sits in behind John Bower, but closing on them already is Alan Jones. He's the next one through. Peter Brock, Larry Perkins. Nothing out there, Wayne?
No, you won't be able to get it.
And look at Alan Jones. He's just catching them hand over fist. Peter Jackson Falcon on a charge, as we've seen in so many rounds before. Alan Jones moved up for this battle before. And these are three very tough customers.
Seaton gets away from them. Downhill, here comes John Bower. Gardner on the inside.
Tried it the last lap. Let's see what happens.
There's Peter Brock running very competitively this weekend in the Mobil 1 Commodore. And I think where Wayne's missing out, he's got the arm out the window. He's from the Peter Brock Advanced Driving School of catch their attention.
You can wave all you want. The best place for your hand, whether you're on the highway or on the racetrack, is both hands on the wheel.
But the thing is, down the front straight, Wayne can't do anything horsepower-wise because John Bower just has that edge. He slips down here. He's going to leave a little gap here. Alan Jones will take full advantage of it. Gets a little taily out of there. Warm up the tyres. Jones coming up. Larry Perkins looking strong there in the Castrol VP Commodore. Peter Brock is not too far behind here.
This is going to be the big test of this new package with the Commodores. See how consistent they are in race trim. We've seen a lot of speed from them, particularly in the Dash for Cash. But whether they can hang in there for 16 laps is the big question, because the Fords have certainly proved their race consistency in the opening 5 rounds.
I don't think you could say that Gardner's doing a bad job of it at the moment, but here comes Jones. He's slipstream Gardner.
Crowd love that. They thought that was wonderful. So Jones is on the move. Mazzara is up to position 16 from 33, the rear of the field.
Peter Jackson team conducted a very progressive 2-day tyre test here a couple of weeks ago, putting more and more work into the chassis. And certainly you talk to someone like John Bower, who just cannot get over the traction of these cars out of corners. They've tried everything they can with the Shell cars to try and match it, but these Peter Jackson cars have so much bite coming out of the turns, and a track like this, that's a huge advantage.
Well, the tyre companies aren't lying still any more than the car companies are, and Bridgestone supporting Glenn Seaton's team, Dunlop on the Shell cars. A battle between the two tyre companies, Yokohama on Fred Gibson's teams on the two Winfield cars.
We'll take our Mobil 1 race cam as we ride with Peter Brock, the Mobil 1 Commodore. Brock now runs 6th on the road. Just missed staying in the draft of the leaders, but he's been fairly consistent. Larry Perkins got by him.
Now, he knows Larry and Brocky are certainly making up a lot of ground on the back of Wayne Gardner's car. So this leading 6 is becoming a very tight bunch indeed in the opening laps.
As you can see the freight train clearly through Brocky's windscreen. You can see it too.
And right behind him, we take the front air dam of our 7-Sport race cam. This is riding on Tony Longhurst BMW.
This is one of the most evocative views of motorsport you'll ever see. You couldn't get much closer to the ground. And hear the snarl of that little BMW 4-cylinder revving its head off, 9,500 RPM. Gets rocks and dirt thrown in his face to the bargain. Tony Longhurst, a great turn of speed at Eastern Creek this weekend.
Just look at this on the main straight. That's a V8 in front of him. It's not exactly walking away. This is what we can expect at Bathurst. BMWs, a flock of them, probably a dozen of them, will arrive out of the air. Be like the Luftwaffe.
Longhurst up to position number 7 in the field. There's Brock looking to the inside of Larry Perkins. They exit turn number 2. They come up on one of the slower 2-litre cars.